1 second. It says I'm live, but it has a weird timer. Let me just make sure. See, we're okay. It says like 3.5 minutes, but
I see 21. I see 21 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I just want to make sure because if we're good to go, I think we're okay now. Okay. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You know who it is, Ed the Mountie, and we're back again with another podcast. We are picking up everything right now. Road to WrestleMania. I have a very special guest, Mr. Sean Hubbard from the website, from the TikTok, from the YouTube channel. We're talking Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. Sean, how's it going, man?
I'm good, man. God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Truly a blessing to be with you, man. For those of you that don't know, me and Mountie are real friends, not just, podcast extraordinary people. We're real friends. So it's an honor and a privilege to be here.
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. So basically the basis of this show, we're just going to kind of look here. As you guys can obviously know, being on this channel for a while, you guys want to chime in. I'm going to throw your comments like this on the screen. Then we're going to kind of go over it. More importantly, we're also going to just go over the card, go over the NXT card, go over what we think might happen, who might be due for a push, who might be losing a title, who might be gaining a title. Look, there's a lot of things that could be happening here on Sunday night. Following the Impact's, pay-per-view last night, it's one of those things, right? The competition's hot, man. WWE is not one of those brands right now that is participating, I guess, with the brand crossovers and whatnot. AEW, Impact's doing it. It seems like maybe Ring of Honor, New Japan, all these guys are going to be slowly doing it if they're not already doing it already. So, I mean, Sean, do you expect some big things for the NXT Takeover? It's not a normal day. Is it just me?
No, it's not just you. It's like Yokozuna being in the Royal Rumble. When you have a 568-pound man in the Royal Rumble, you got to gang up on him to get him over the top rope. Now, in Yokozuna's case, it doesn't work. When you're Earthquake, it did work. So it's like whatever it takes, you gotta shoot your shot. And I love how the organizations are gathering their talents together and combining their efforts to kind of give WWE a run for its money. I'll tell you one thing. I watched No Surrender, and had No Surrender not had the talents of AEW and these crossover stars, I probably wouldn't have watched. No disrespect, but it is what it is. So I love it.
That's a good point. Very, very good point. I like that you brought that up. So was it the addition of Private Party or what was it exactly that really drew you to the No Surrender?
What drew me to No Surrender is the unpredictability of it. I knew Private Party was going to be there. Private Party
right.
with Matt Hardy was announced, but you just didn't know. You don't know if Kenny Omega is going to show up. You don't know if Don Callis is going to bring somebody else in. It brings that very cool element. It's like Lex Luger, coming out on Nitro back in '95. From that point on, you're going to watch to see what happens next. Hey, for the next 2 or 3 weeks, maybe nothing will happen, but because there's an element there of
surprise,
you're gonna watch. And I love do what you got to do, man. Like, this is not the 80s. This is not AWA combining efforts with WCW. It's not Supercard 3. This is legitimate competition. I love it.
Absolutely. Look, I think you hit it on the head especially with the surprise elements and stuff. I mean, they can go so many different ways, and it's just a different avenue. It's just different from what we've seen. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, my brother and I would do these fake pay-per-views with all of our wrestling figures. And, we would do WWF versus WCW pay-per-views. And I was as a kid, I didn't understand how business worked and competition. I just thought they were just different companies and they were all friends. And you know what I mean? What the hell did I know? I was 6 years old, but I'm thinking to myself,
when guys are showing up on different shows, you think everybody's working together.
Well, that's it. I mean, at some point we were just I said to him, I'm like, why don't they do this? Why don't they have a WWF versus WCW pay-per-view? And in my mind, I was they would both make money. So what the hell is the big deal? And I guess I was maybe too much conflict of interest, maybe, too much possible crossover permanently, if you will. So, I mean, I don't know. Seeing all these crossovers happen right now definitely makes me excited again to be a wrestling fan, because, like you said, we don't know what's going to happen, and the more surprises that we see, the more likely we are to tune in, not just from a pay-per-view standpoint, but from a weekly standpoint. And we all know that's, it's hard to do that these days. It's hard to do that.
That's right.
I mean, you and I come from that, Attitude Era and stuff like that, the Monday Night Wars, and even before that. And it's just a different time, man. It's a different time. Everybody's trying to get your attention all over the place. And it's hard to sort of allocate those 2-3 hours a night, or even like in some cases 5 hours of TV in WWE's case a week. It is definitely not easy. But hey, listen, here we are. We want to talk a little bit about the NXT Takeover and whatever else comes to mind. I know you and I, thank you very much, I should say, for shooting me over that code last night. I'm wrapping up No Surrender. So far, so good. Very interesting product. We're going to dive into that a little bit more on the next review. So I'm really looking forward to doing that with you. And I just, Mounties Corner right now is taking a little bit of a different direction. We're not taking anything away from what I've currently done. That's always going to be there and everything else. But what I am going to, addition to everything Mounties Corner, what I'm going to be doing is adding elements of AEW, of Impact, of just other promotions, because I understand that, all of us, some watched just WWE, but others, watch different kinds of products. So NXT and AEW and stuff. So I wanted to add a little bit of everything. So I'm looking forward to that. Going into tonight, Sean, I want to ask you: are you excited? Does it feel like a pay-per-view night to you for NXT, or what's going on in your mind?
It does, and I was just going to say, and your question actually bridges the gap perfectly. I do not. I want to be clear, my punctuality. I do not consider WWE television must-see TV in 2021. I don't. But I do consider, even though it's the same umbrella, I do consider NXT must-see TV. So I am very excited about tonight. I'm more excited about tonight than I will be probably about Elimination Chamber next week. And that's a lot. NXT gives me that element of professional wrestling that I sorely miss. And, tonight's one of those nights, you're going to get 2.5 hours of what it's all about, like real stuff, compared to Monday and Fridays that are just not doing it for me right now.
I feel you, dog. I feel you. And, sometimes the interesting thing about NXT, it's like they could do more, but they choose not to, like this card could be bigger. It could be bigger. We got 5 matches. Maybe we're going to see a little bit more. Who knows? Sometimes they throw in an extra one, or I think they do that sometimes, if I'm not mistaken. But, they have, right? And, we're going to see some segments. Maybe we'll see some returns. Maybe we'll see some swerves. NXT does things the way I wish WWE would do things. It's just how it is. Yes, they're not a big scale as the big machine. But, they just do a lot of little things, man. Everything that they do, it just seems to be just a little bit better than the product we see on Monday and Friday. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's the look, the presentation, the segments, the music. It just seems a little bit more hardcore, I guess you could say, but not in a sense like hardcore with matches and this and that, like hardcore matches, but more so just the style of it, man. Like, it's a great promotion, because we've seen, like, as you notice, TNA is no slouch, or Impact, I should say, and neither is AEW. AEW is a very good promotion, I find. But NXT is just as good. Like, fuck. I mean, so I'm with you, man. I feel like this is going to be a pretty big night for them somehow. And this is going into, don't forget, this is their, I think, last pay-per-view before WrestleMania. So some big things are about to go down here. And I want to talk about a couple of things. Obviously, I'd like to kind of start with, I guess, the women's match. Mm-hmm. We got a triple threat match. Originally, I thought it was Io Shirai versus Toni Storm, but I guess they threw in Mercedes Martinez, right?
Yeah, about 10 days ago.
Right. So, I mean, who do you got? Are you looking forward to it? What's up?
I think Io Shirai retains, but I think it's going to be a strong showing by I think this is going to be the marquee showcase match for Mercedes Martinez. We all know that Mercedes Martinez got initially called up, if you want to use the word called up, to Raw to be a part of Retribution. Somehow that went awry. She's back on NXT. She's been attacking Io the last couple of weeks. Toni Storm's always been in the mix, so they decided to make the triple threat. I want to see a strong performance by Mercedes Martinez. I would love to see her win the title. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I still think that Io Shirai is honestly the top 3 wrestlers female in the company right now, not in the world, but in the company. And I think Io Shirai will retain. But I think Toni Storm will show the world what she can do. For those of you who are not familiar with her work on NXT UK, even though she's been with NXT for a few months now. And I think for those of you who have forgotten about Mercedes Martinez, tonight will be her coming out party. She will show the world why she's top 10, in my opinion, in the world in professional wrestling for females. And she will be unsuccessful in her title chase, but she will show the world what she's all about tonight.
I like how you said that. And one thing to add, I mean, I think if the title's changing hands, I'm going to go with Toni Storm. Okay. I feel like, she's kind of been hinting around that main event for a while. She has been main event for one reason or another. We've seen it. She hasn't quite got it. This is a Mae Young Classic winner, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
This is an NXT UK, women's champion as well. And I feel like this is the time. If you are going to drop the title, this could be an interesting time to do it and have Toni go into Takeover WrestleMania, if you will, as champion, and then we'll see what happens. Like these are the questions they need to ask. Do they need some extra star power for WrestleMania? And is Io Shirai ready to take that step? I think she's ready. And I think the perfect person for the meantime is Toni Storm to take over. Meanwhile, have maybe Mercedes, fight for that title eventually in the next couple of months, 6 months, whatever. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I can obviously see that, Shirai actually retains and goes into NXT as champion, to where we may see a new champion that particular night. So it's a toss-up for me on this one. I feel like Toni Storm is due. I just don't know if they're ready to make that sort of change at this late in the game going into WrestleMania. But we have seen it before. We have seen title changes, the Mania right before, right? We've seen that, the pay-per-view right before Mania. Yeah, I don't know. So let's see what we got. We have a couple people in the chat. I want to say hi to Aaron. Thanks for popping by. We have 5-minute promo, aka Nathan. Nice to see you in the chat, brother. He's a fellow podcaster with me, and we do some shows yearly for sure. Nice. Akeda in AEW is going to tear the roof down 100%. Be cool to see that coin toss at some point. Lights go off, coin toss. Maybe Omega's in the ring. He kind of looks up. He's shook. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. So I'm kind of with you on that. Hopefully, it's against a very arrogant Kenny Omega. I like that. You can start maybe the shocking debut and then slowly, and not slowly turn Omega. You can maybe slowly turn him and see how that kind of plays out, because a cocky, arrogant Kenny Omega, in my opinion, is the best one out there. So what do you think about that, Sean?
I think it's cool. I think I think it's money. I think it's money to do. I just think that we got to make sure we do it right. That's always the key. Like, you always have ingredients for a tremendous concoction, but you got to put it together correctly in order for it to work.
Absolutely. We have Kip Clips in the house. My bad, bro. When I did that video on you, I think I messed up your name like 10 times. I don't know why. It's a tongue twister. But yeah, thanks for popping in. This guy, I don't know if you heard of him, Sean. He's a pretty big deal on YouTube, man. I think he's got
shout out.
Yeah. Shout out, man. Thanks for popping by. He came by on Malik's channel the other day when we were doing our Mount Rushmore and top 10. So it's cool to see him around, and shit, we got to get him on one of these one day, man. That'd be all time, Kip. So thanks again for popping in. This is a great question because it kind of segues into the next match I want to talk about. Would be nice if the women's tag titles were defended on NXT. 100% agree. Why the fuck not? And it's interesting because the winner of the Women's Dusty Classic, or Tag Team Classic, obviously, they receive a future WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. So that's interesting because if the men's win, they get a future NXT Tag Team Championship. So obviously, because NXT doesn't have women championships, they get a shot at the main roster. And who do we got in this match? Is we got Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. I'm gonna give my prediction first, if that's cool with you. I feel like it's Dakota Kai and Raquel, 100%. Even though it's Shayna and Nia on the other side, I feel like that is something that could somehow be utilized, maybe either at Takeover or at WrestleMania. Would you like to see that? I mean, big Raquel against Nia, I think it kind of goes. What do you think?
I think it definitely goes, and I think you have a bird in the hand when it comes to Raquel, because a big mama cool. I love her. Remember, you heard I've been saying it on Twitter for months. I'm saying it again on this show. We know the world's going to see this anyway, so I'm calling Raquel. I'm the first one. I'm calling Raquel Gonzalez big mama cool. She's awesome. She looks the part. She reminds. Look, she is Diesel. Dakota Kai is HBK, and Raquel Gonzalez is Diesel. Now, will Dakota evolve into HBK legendary status? Probably not. But my point is, think about the level of both of their careers. Think about what Dakota Kai is doing. Think about how Raquel Gonzalez came in. She's big mama cool. And I too think that Dakota and Raquel win tonight. Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart winning just doesn't make sense to me on this particular evening.
Yeah, and it's funny about the big mama cool. You do notice that she wears the long leather pants.
Yes.
That's what Big Diesel used to wear, right? So
WWE call her Big Mama Cool. I want to get paid, man.
Oh fuck! How many times this has happened with us with ideas?
Proof on video.
It starts. Timestamp. Boom. 6:20 East Coast time on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there,
yes,
including Kip Clips. So hopefully he's enjoying his day. Okay, I can see this maybe having a little bit of a blow up between Ember and Shotzi. Maybe that sets up a singles match at Takeover, since none of them really have anything kind of going on.
You have a decision with Ember Moon. I still don't know who she is.
I know, man. I know. And I know we have, guys in the six-pack fuck that really like her. Kyron is a massive fan.
Does that make any sense when I say that?
Of course it does. I totally agree with you.
I don't know who Ember Moon is. She has to draw a line in the sand, and we have to figure out who she is. I don't know who she is. Is she a face? Is she a heel? Is she a badass? Is she a good guy? Is she? It's so weird. I can't put my finger on it.
I know, and you know what? And those things have an effect, right? Because for me, for the diehards, or for the people that just got behind her for one reason or another, they get excited with her. And for me, I don't really get super as excited as other people.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's awesome. I think she did great things. See, it's not good that I don't remember it right now. The last time that we saw her, she did that. I think it was the last Takeover, and she did that. It's the Eclipse, her move, right?
Yes.
Is that the name of it?
Yes.
So she did the Eclipse. Oh yeah, it was at the War Games when she did the Eclipse from the top onto the chair. That was sick. So she has moments of yo, you're the bomb. But I agree with you where it's I don't feel a connection yet. And they need to work on that, because even when she made her debut / return / whatever to NXT, I wasn't as excited as a bunch of other people were. And maybe that's on me. I don't know.
No, it's not on you. I'll give you a perfect example. When Johnny Gargano, when Finn Balor returned to NXT, you knew that Finn Balor was coming back to NXT to make NXT better. When Ember Moon came back to NXT, it was clearly a demotion. It was clearly, we don't know what to do with you. You're coming back from injury. Let me give you a fresh start by going back to NXT. There's a difference. Like if one of the mainstream guys that we see, if I've always said I would love to see Seth.
Well, Tyler Breeze went down, right?
Tyler Breeze went down, and Tyler Breeze,
Tyson Kidd.
Yeah, that was a demotion. But Tyler Breeze has made the best of it. Tyler Breeze is just playing better in NXT. I don't see any improvement when it comes to Ember Moon. I still see Ember Moon as just completely confusing. She sticks her tongue out. She has cool hair, but I don't know what that means.
Same here, man. I'm so glad you said that because, going into this year, sometimes you feel like you can't say anything of an opinion without getting your head bitten off because it's just like, well, we don't know. Guys, it's not personal. It's wrestling. Yeah. It's fucking wrestling. It's his opinion. It's characters. It appeals to us differently. But the fact that me and Sean, who are pretty knowledgeable wrestling fans, kind of feel the same way about it tells me that maybe we'll see something different tonight. Maybe what we need is like a heel Ember Moon, to sort of come full circle with something and show a little bit of a different side. In fact, that's my prediction tonight. Somehow, some way, her and Shotzi, because Shotzi is a massive fan favorite. I don't see them turning her. That's my opinion. Again, Ember was probably the better pick because then it's like, okay, this is why we brought her down. We didn't know at the time what the fuck to do with her, but now, hey, we can go that way and have a heel Ember Moon versus Shotzi. Shotzi could afford to take that loss at the next takeover, and we'll see what happens.
Just whatever they decide, commit to it. Commit to it.
Go all in. Go all in. AEW style. Narcolepsy Boy 94. Our buddy Malik Kelly, the creator of the drafts, is in the house. What's up, brother? Thanks for popping by. He says that you dressed up sharp for today, huh?
Oh man, just came back. It's Valentine's Day, man. I know it's kind of like oxymoron for me to be dressed in blue. And Valentine's Day is red, but just took little mama out for Valentine's Day, and she had to get home to her family a little bit earlier, so we did it earlier in the day. But anyway, my point is, thank you, man. I appreciate that, Malik. Yes, the creator of the drafts, always a pleasure, my brother.
Absolutely. So going into the next, we've already covered 40% of the card, and it's 6:25. So we're not going to keep you guys here too long because we know you want to, get to the actual show at 7.
WWE pay-per-views on demand. They'll be all right. If they're over 10, 15 minutes late, you can just rewind and start it from the beginning. Give me a break.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just so nice.
You are. You're very. Me, on the other hand, I. Thank God for Jesus, because other than that, I'd be a savage beast. I'll tell you that.
You still are, even with Jesus. So, God, I don't want to see you without. Oh, my God. Big match here. A couple of these are new tag teams that I've seen a lot of talent this week. I'm excited about, I haven't been watching a lot of Impact, I'll be honest. I only know a couple of guys and whatever. And there's a reason why I'm saying that. I saw a lot of new talent on
No Surrender.
No Surrender, Jesus. I still have COVID brain fog. For those of you who don't know, I actually had COVID-19 in December, and I'm still recovering a little bit from a mental standpoint. So forgive me, but thank you. That's why we got Sean here, or else I'd be here looking for a word for 10 minutes. and nobody wants to see that shit. So I saw a lot of new talent, including in NXT when I was watching, this past week and everything. And in the past months and that sort of thing. And these two tag teams, they excite me. Preferably, I'm getting behind the grizzled young veterans of James Drake and Zach Gibson. I'm feeling them. I really am. They kind of have a little bit of an old school vibe. Maybe there's a little bit of a hint of revival in them. I think they put away their opponents with the same move, but I could be wrong. I don't know if that's their finisher. I don't know too much about these guys, but I do know that they were, again, NXT UK champions, right? And then they're going up against young up and comers in MSK of Nash Carter and Wes Lee. So Sean, who do you got? Are you looking forward to this? Don't forget, these guys get a tag team NXT tag team shot if they win this match.
let me start by saying this. I think it's imperative, and I'm saying this because I'm a huge fan. It's imperative to move Undisputed Era for them to have not gotten to. You know, I love Undisputed Era. I'm a huge fan of Adam Cole. I'm actually evolving into even a bigger fan of Kyle O'Reilly. But it was so important for them not to be in the finals of this tournament again, because I would have been cheering for them. I'm sure maybe you would have been cheering for them. Everybody would have been cheering because we all love Adam Cole, baby. It's just force of habit. It's like second nature. So thank God they didn't win the tournament. Not that we don't love Undisputed Era anymore, but it's time for somebody else. Because of that, and because the grizzled young veterans have always been on the cusp of superstardom but haven't been able to get over the hump. No disrespect to the NXT UK tag team titles, but I do not consider you to have been arrived if you win the NXT UK tag team titles. I think it's a stepping stone, and I think tonight they make that step. I like MSK, but I really enjoy the grizzled young veterans. I'm glad they're not facing the Undisputed Era, because if they were facing the Undisputed Era, I'd be cheering for the Undisputed Era. So I'm very happy I could be a real journalist right now and not just a fan and say that the grizzled young veterans will win the Dusty Classic. It's well-deserved. And for the love of God, if you don't get it done now, I don't think they ever will. They've been on the verge for a while. Tonight should be their night if WWE is doing it the right way.
I totally agree. I think that MSK is there for a few reasons. I think they're there to obviously help put on arguably the match of the night.
Okay.
I think that this particular match has the ability and potential to be match of the night caliber. Mm-hmm. I feel like MSK has got that in them. You know, they're there to dance with them, right? They're there to dance with with Drake and Gibson. So I feel like they're there for that reason, but I also feel like they're there for another reason. You know, I mean, NXT has to keep developing their tag team division, and it's not just about Lorcan and who the fuck's the other guy's name again? Tony Lorcan and Danny Birch, I think, right? The guys that are in
the current tag champs.
The current tag, yeah. So it's not just about these guys in Undisputed Era. Like we have to go past that, right? Because eventually, and let's be honest, we probably thought it would have happened by now. Mm-hmm. Undisputed Era has got to go up. They have to go up soon. Yeah. I feel like they need, like, Monday and Friday nights need the Undisputed Era. Whether they need, Undisputed Era as a tag team or whether they need them as a complete stable is yet to be seen. As we all know, I mean, and WWE doesn't quite respect the tag team division such as NXT. NXT has some of the best tag team matches I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Yes.
To this day, American Alpha versus Revival is one of my favorite matches of all time. Matches, bro. Mm-hmm. So like these guys are there to show, like, hey, we can go. We can go. We can be like a private party. We can be, one of those like high fly, like a Young Bucks, or you know what I mean. Like they're there to show that they are going to be that next up and coming quick tag team that people love to see. People love to see that kind of stuff.
And it's for that reason I want to clarify my point, Mount, is that I love, and when I say I love the Undisputed Era. I love the Undisputed Era. But when you have a team that is that popular and that good and that charismatic, you're never going to cheer for the grizzled young veterans or MSK. You're going to always hope that you hear that music. You're going to always hope for Adam Cole, baby. You're always going to hope to see Kyle O'Reilly playing the guitar. Yeah. Thank God they're not in this match. As you said, MSK and grizzled young veterans, I agree with your point completely, the chance to steal the show. And I really hope that they do, because this is their moment. And if you notice, Undisputed Era is not even on the show at all. That I don't completely understand, but that's another conversation.
Well, this is where I'm confused, and this is like, are we going to see a run-in? Don't forget, they were in the like you said, they were in the Dusty Tag Team Classic. They obviously did not win. Are they going to set up something where come Takeover? Are we going to see a six-man, not a six-man tag match, but 3 different teams, like a tornado match? Like, hey, anything's possible at Takeover. You got to find a spot for Undisputed Era, not just O'Reilly and Cole. and we'll see what happens with them. But you got to find a spot for maybe a tag team, and are they going to do something sick at Takeover with the tag team division with Lorcan and Birch, and these, and hopefully grizzled young veterans? Are they going to do something with all of them, or are they going to have MSK go up against Undisputed Era at Takeover, another tag team match or something down the road, maybe on NXT on Wednesday nights going forward?
Not bad booking, my friend. Not bad booking at all.
You got to do something, and you got to help put these MSK guys over at some point to show that they're the big deal. It doesn't have to be for a title. It could just be a win. But not
tonight, because the grizzled young veterans,
exactly.
The sand is leaving the hourglass for the grizzled young veterans. They got to do it.
They have no. So that's my pick. Is Grizzled to win and MSK to lose, but setting up something with maybe Undisputed Era where MSK goes over them at a later date. That's what I think.
Let's give Kyle O'Reilly, just since we talked about, give Kyle O'Reilly a chance to be NXT champion. I think he should have won last time against Finn Balor.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's just a little, whatever.
I totally agree, and that's why I don't want to break them up. I want to keep them together, but at the same time, I want to see O'Reilly kind of get his at some point.
As long as we can make sure that Adam Cole doesn't, pull a Triple H on.
Hey, listen, if it helps make Kyle O'Reilly
no.
You don't want to see it for life.
They can stay together and be successful singles guys.
Okay, but here's the deal. O'Reilly needs to be a champion at some point, and that's where I think it's going. I will talk about the NXT, North American Championship in just a moment, because I want it to end with a bang with our friend Kushida. We're not there yet. Keep your cool, big man. Keep your cool. But, this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about, okay, where's the direction going for Kyle O'Reilly? What's going to happen? How long are these guys still on the NXT roster? Is he going to get his moment as champion? And, it's not going to be Adam Cole. Maybe it's O'Reilly. You're right. They don't have to necessarily break up, and that's okay, because I do want to see them as a unit on the main roster. We don't have to break them up, because it's tricky, man. If you bring them up, you don't know. O'Reilly might get lost in the shuffle. Right. He never gets that love that he deserves. So I feel like he should hold the title, the NXT title, eventually, and that's why I think Pete Dunne needs to win tonight.
Okay.
In order to hold that title, to have a Pete Dunne versus O'Reilly sort of, main event at some point. I don't know when, because I feel like Takeover is too tight, and then Pete Dunne didn't really have it for that long. I want to see Pete Dunne with a reign, because he's done some great shit over in the last few years, especially in the last 6 months, man.
Facts.
So I mean, who do you got? I think Balor was the placeholder, and I think Pete Dunne takes it from him tonight. He's due. He's in great shape. I've loved Pete Dunne since that first match that I watched from him personally in the the NXT UK tournament against was it Trent Seven or no? Who's the other guy there with the big legs? He's one of the guys from Mustache Mountain, wasn't? I think he. Yeah,
the young kid, 22 years old.
Yeah, Tyler Bate, maybe? Was it him? Either way, I forget who Pete Dunne was against, but it was a hell of a match, and I was a fan of Pete Dunne from day one. So I think it's time. Look, this guy was the longest reigning champion in NXT, UK history. Who do you got for tonight? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
I agree, but I don't think it'll happen. Let me say Pete Dunne has never looked better. I love Pete Dunne. I think Pete Dunne is an extraordinary athlete. I think his kind of attitude is awesome. But I think Finn Balor is the flag bearer for NXT. I do not think he's a placeholder. I think Finn Balor
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I do. I get you. But I think Finn Balor is the man, and I think he'll prove that he's the man tonight, because for all intents and purposes, tonight would be the night that Pete Dunne gets the job done. Tonight would be the night. It feels like a night where the title might change. It feels like the night after Finn Balor's had successful title defense after successful title defense, that tonight might be the night that Pete Dunne trips him up. But I just don't think that that'll happen. I do expect interference from Pete Dunne's backup. I think that you might see an appearance from the punter from the NFL. He might pull up. I think McAfee. Pat McAfee might make a surprise run in. I don't know. And if that's the case, then I think we'll see Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly and et cetera. I think that's where we might see Undisputed Era sometime tonight is involved in the main event. But Pete Dunne loses, not because he's not worthy, but because I think Finn Balor is going to be one of those guys that hold the title for a very, very long time, and I don't think his time is up.
Really? I mean, how long has he had the title for? Do you know? I don't remember right now. It's got to be. He took it from Cole, yeah.
I don't know if he. Let me see something real quick.
So I think Adam Cole had it before him. Did he not?
I'm about to look it up right now. I'm not going to act like I know, but I am going to look.
Yeah.
And as soon as I find it, I will let you know. I'm looking it up right now. I definitely. I don't think it was Adam Cole, but then again, I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong.
I'm trying to remember right now. It's so stupid on Wikipedia. It doesn't I list of NXT champions. Here we go. Okay, so it was Finn Balor. Oh, it was Karrion Kross.
After Karrion Kross gave it up.
Yeah. Okay, so interesting that we might see something because he's not on the card either, and I was kind of hoping he was. I don't know about you. I like Karrion Kross. I think he's got a future. What do you think? You're not feeling him yet?
I like Karrion Kross. I just don't love Karrion Kross. You know, I like Scarlett. I like her, but for selfish reasons.
Care to elaborate?
No, I do not care to elaborate because my woman might be watching. But no, Scarlett's gorgeous. I'm gonna like my girl knows that. Anyway, enough of that crap.
I don't 6 months.
I don't think that Karrion Kross should have won the title when he won it. Honestly.
Well, I mean, I think that he did win because they wanted Keith Lee on the roster, and that's another. Yes. I mean, you know, knowing what we know now, would you have done that? Would you have kept him down? Would you have given Keith? I would have probably kept Keith Lee down longer and had him have a longer reign. That's me because he didn't.
Started on Keith Lee because I am not a fan.
Okay, you're not a fan of Keith Lee?
No, sir.
Interesting.
No, sir.
Why? How come?
Because he looks like me.
You think you'd be all about it?
No, I'm kidding. I think his swagger is very corny. Like I don't think he's as cool of a cucumber as he comes across to be. He seems kind of fugazi on camera, and I think his character is limited as it pertains to his promos, and I think that comes out as it relates to his character. I think the promos need a lot of work.
Look, man, I'm not just saying this because you're my guest. You know me, I have a big mouth, and I have no issue giving my own opinion, even if it, you know, is the contrary, if you will. I always say it politely, but I totally agree with you. Like, I'm just not feeling Keith Lee just yet. I loved what he can do in the ring.
Oh, he's a tremendous athlete.
Yep. Like for a big man, like
so is Ricochet.
Exactly, right? And it's just if they don't fine tune him, it could be like booking hell for a while if they're not careful. And that's why it comes full circle with what I'm saying about Keith Lee. Like maybe they should have kept him in NXT, give him a title reign. Let's see a little bit more personality. Like he had the title for like a month. So I didn't really get a chance to really know him, if you will, as a champion. I wanted to see how he was as a champion, how he held himself. Maybe I could have felt a little bit more different about him coming on the main roster. It's just one of those things. So I understand that, you know, Raw and SmackDown, they need guys to kind of help them, especially, you know, when some guys get injured and whatnot. And, you know, Karrion Kross got injured like right after, and it's just sucks, you know, separated shoulder is a bitch, but he's back. I liked his altercation with Edge. I feel like we're going to see Karrion Kross tonight somehow. Who knows? I don't know how he's going to get involved if it's like one thing I always loved about Takeover is the ending. They always have some sick ending.
True.
Where there's a run-in or a heel turn or a swerve, and it always seems to happen when that stamp comes on. You know,
for me, I just think that, NXT needs to look, and I don't want to contradict myself. I don't believe that you should keep the title on the same guys, right? Triple H was champion for like 14 months and out of a 12-month year, in 2003. So it's ridiculous. But Karrion Kross, Keith Lee, like take what you know about Keith Lee from the independents out of it. There's only like a handful of guys that should be NXT champion or should be in that running. And if I miss one, forgive me. But in my mind, it's Finn Balor, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Pete Dunne is in that mix. It's not many. Johnny Gargano,
Ciampa.
There's probably Ciampa. There's probably a few more, but it doesn't. I mean, Kushida and the grizzled young veterans. I'm just throwing them out there because I see the card.
Well, Velveteen Dream would have been there too.
He would have, but I'm not including him purposely because of what he's done to himself.
Right. Could we see him come back today?
Not tonight. Not tonight. I think we've seen the last of him for a little while longer. Well, he'll come back eventually, but not tonight.
It's too bad because Velveteen Dream he had such high hopes. He was right there. And all this stuff happened. So, I don't want to be one of those guys. Oh, I'm not talking about him. No, I'm gonna fucking talk about him. I don't condone what he did or not. I'm talking from his character. His gimmick was hot as fuck, right? And it's unfortunate because he was right there, and he was in that main event status. And in fact, he could have been one that just got called up immediately before a title run. He had that charisma, bro. He had that captivating, you want to watch him. And it's really, really, it's a big loss so far. So all I'm going to say is I hope that we get to see him again. And I hope everything works out. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I hope it works out for the better of humanity, if that makes sense. I hope we find out some more.
We're not God and we're not judges. Okay, so at the end of the day, it's not for us to confirm or deny or say anything as it relates to his legal situation. If what happened is what's being reported that happened, neither one of us condone it. We both agree it's a terrible thing, right?
Exactly.
But strictly from a character standpoint, I mean, Velveteen Dream was on fire. But then again, you have to understand, as popular as he was and as popular as he was getting, even if he does get exonerated and whatever happens, it all plays itself out and he's all good and he comes back, he may never regain that momentum. That's something that Velveteen Dream, whatever his real name is, I don't know his real name,
Patrick Clark. That's something that Patrick Clark has to live with.
Nobody else should stand in judgment of him. If he did what he did, we don't agree with it. It's terrible. But let's just hope that he didn't. Let's hope that everything works itself out. Let's hope from a wrestling fan perspective that he comes back. And if he's done something wrong that's unforgivable, then he did it to himself and he has to live with the consequences.
Yeah, and we stand behind that, of course. We stand behind either one, like what you just said. I stand behind both statements. And that's it. So it's one of those things. Look, if everything works out, he gets exonerated, and somehow, some way, it was all bullshit. Mm-hmm. Great, great. Because and to answer your point, I do feel like the time will heal that wound. It'll take a while.
Yes,
but he'll regain fans by the day, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Only if that happens. If it doesn't happen, it's tough. And anybody that does root for him is going to be shat on.
Yeah, they're gonna put themselves into being ridiculed.
Oh yeah, trust me. So look, we'll see what happens. He's been out of action for a while. I think we know why. But hey, we hope everything works out for everyone, if that makes any sense. Johnny Gargano, NXT champion. A lot of reference, a lot of focus is on him from Dexter Lumis coming into this match. I love Dexter Lumis. I don't know how you feel.
I love. Let me be clear about my facial expression. I love Dexter Lumis too.
Yep. So I am looking forward to seeing how Dexter Lumis is going to be. I just want to see him tonight. I don't know how it's going to happen. I like a Dexter sighting no matter what it is. I'm a big fan of him. I feel like it's going to be some sort of opportunity. Maybe, forget Kushida on winning this match. I feel like Dexter could be the next NXT, North American champion. Yeah, I really believe that.
I think Dexter Lumis has the ability to even be an NXT champion. His character is super dope.
It's super dope. It's so much more than what Kushida is, in my opinion. I don't feel anything for Kushida. I think I can speak for you too, where you don't really stand behind it either. Great in-ring talent. Other than that, I don't know. I can't see myself buying a Kushida t-shirt. You feel me? But I can see myself buying a Dexter Lumis t-shirt. You know what I mean?
I do.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Conrad is in the house. Everything pro wrestling. We wish you well, brother. But boy, are you asking for it with this comment. I hope Bubble Jacket Kushida shows up. There's a little bit of a backstory to that inside joke, fellas. We do a draft on Malik Narcolepsy Boy 94's channel. I mean, if you guys don't know that, like, this is a problem. You guys gotta pop into that chat, man. It's popping over there as well. And here's the deal. Sean went on one of these epic rants because I think we were talking about it was an NXT draft, and I think somebody had maybe drafted Kushida or something like that. Yeah. And then Sean just went on this rant where he was he was disgusted with his ring attire when he came to the ring dressed as like Marty McFly from Back to the Future, and he had like fucking a bubble vest in the summer. Summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Elaborate a little bit about this.
I'm going to speak on this because the gracious host of this show, Ed DeMounty, is giving me the platform to do so. Otherwise, I would not. I would never dominate another man's show, especially a brother of mine's show. But he's giving me the opportunity. So here's the thing. Kushida is the most the dumbest looking character in the entire world of professional wrestling, and that includes men who dress like dinosaurs. That includes
Ferguson.
Yeah, there are just so many. You have a girl with green hair driving a tank, which is kind of awesome. I'm just trying to make a point here. Kushida is an idiot for wearing what he wears to the ring. He wears cut-up jeans with, it looks like possibly a thermal undershirt with a orange bubble vest to the ring to wrestle. You're a grown man wearing a bubble vest to the ring to wrestle. And you're about to go into a North American championship match against arguably one of the most talented professional wrestlers in the world. And you want us as fans, journalists, or whatever to take you seriously as a professional wrestler.
As a potential champion.
As a potential title holder wearing an orange bubble vest to the ring. You unbelievable moron. Who the hell do you think you are to tell me as a fan that you want me to respect your craft when you wear a bubble vest to the ring? I don't respect people who go to the grocery store who wear bubble vests, and you want me to respect you as a professional, by God, wrestler challenging for People are paying to watch this show. And I'm going to have to, I don't care if it's $9.99. I don't care if it was just $99. For me to watch you on pay-per-view television, on the network, on YouTube, I don't care where I'm watching. Watch you in a bubble vest, an orange. So not only are you wearing a bubble vest, you want to make sure I see it because you're wearing a neon orange bubble vest. I hope that you get hurt. Not in real life, in storyline. I hope they write you off of television because of this. I don't want you to be hurt for real. I know you have a family. I want you to be well. But what you need to do, Kushida, is find another line of work because seeing you on television makes me very angry. You moron. Who told you that that was okay? Whoever told you it was okay should be slapped across the face as hard as humanly possible. I'm very upset because yeah, I'm sorry, please.
I think it's obviously a Back to the Future reference, right? So
do you see
but it's not a movie.
Do you see Biff Pecan anywhere? Is Doc around? Are we looking? I mean, I don't understand. Yes, Aaron, and I'm giving you all the respect in the world. Aaron, don't take my tone as disrespect. I'm fully aware it's a Marty McFly reference. It's stupid.
It is
stupid.
It is dumb, and I hated that Velveteen Dream came out and he had like the big rubber gloves and his hair was like out like the Doc. I didn't enjoy any of that. You know, I was like, what the fuck does Back to the Future have to do with? I mean, I guess Velveteen Dream was doing that because of Kushida's reference. He's trying to get on his head, but I don't know. Okay, forget that. But
unless Kushida's name is Michael J. Fox, he should not be wearing an orange bubble vest. It's the I would go as far as to say it's one of the stupidest attires for someone who wants to be considered, and this is me being real right now, all, comedic entertainment aside. If you want to be considered a true professional wrestler and be respected as such, your attire has a lot to do with it.
It does. And look, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm not behind it either. I'm not behind it either. EPW is saying Eli Drake. I don't understand the reference here, Conrad. Maybe you can elaborate.
Yeah, if we're talking about attire, I've never seen Eli Drake come out dressed.
I've seen him have, a vest.
Yeah,
right?
but not an orange bubble vest.
No, exactly. So, oh shit. Oh, hang on a second.
Well,
Eli Drake, he's coming to WWE. Oh, that's a big sign.
Oh,
that is a big fucking sign.
Okay.
WWE signs Eli Drake to an NXT contract. Holy shit. Are we seeing him tonight?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes, we are.
That's
awesome. Big news right there.
Conrad, thank you for that, man. I had no idea. This happened like half an hour. Bro, this happened. This came to light like an hour ago or something. Wow. I mean,
Drake. I love it.
I love it. Yo, he's a main event star, bro. Oh shit. I mean, he was on what, NWA Power?
Yes, he was on NWA.
And he was damn good. That guy could talk, bro.
His work with Sandow in NWA was epic.
Amazing. So I'm really looking forward to that. Like I'll be honest, like a couple of NXT signings really, really got me excited. Drew McIntyre, that was a bit obviously. We don't have to get into that one. But
Drew McIntyre is great. I just don't think he's box office. That's all I ever said.
That's all good. The other one that I was really excited about, believe it or not, was EC3. And it's too bad because I feel like they should have kept him down in NXT and they should have done something a lot more with him. I was super excited. I found.
Yeah, but they almost ruined that man's career.
I know, and thankfully he's back at it. I think is he with Ring of Honor now? I'm trying to remember.
I want to say he's with ROH. I believe so.
Yeah. So listen, all things considered, I haven't been as excited for a debut or a signing since. Oh man, I mean, I'm trying to think if there was anybody else that I know. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be honest, guys. Like a lot of you guys are even better than me at scoping out like new talent from other organizations and whatnot. I only have so many hours in a day where I could watch wrestling and pay attention to it and whatnot. But like, obviously, in my opinion, like some of these signings that come up, I don't really know some of them. I don't, you know. I think Malik had a reference before, and I don't even remember which one it was. But either way, you know, this one I definitely know, and I definitely know it's going to be a fucking hell of an addition to the roster.
If they don't screw it up.
I don't think they will. But we'll see. I mean, it's Triple H, right? Triple H does great things.
The Eli Drake character, they just need to keep it going.
Yeah, I think you're right. So, you know, we're looking forward to it here. Man, I mean, to be honest, that's the card, and we did pretty good with the timing here. I'm looking forward to this.
By the way, Gargano wins. I just Kushida, and I also want to go on record because between Malik's podcast and this great podcast here, I don't want anybody to misunderstand my representation of how I feel about Kushida. I think Kushida is a tremendous wrestling talent, but I do from an entertainment standpoint. First of all, he's limited, you know, promo wise, right? And now, and his attire is corny. So that's the presentation, athleticism, and being able to talk. Those are 2 out of the 3 elements that you need to be a star, right? We already talked about earlier how somebody can ruin their career, have a bad career. Keith Lee needs to work on his promos. A tremendous athlete with tremendous charisma, that seemingly charisma, but when he talks himself on the microphone. Kushida coming out with a bubble vest makes him a joke to me. And it's a shame because I've seen Kushida's previous work, and he's a tremendous in-ring talent. But when you come out in an orange bubble vest, and I understand it's a Marty McFly reference, it brings you less credibility as it relates to who you really are. He's a tremendous athlete, but I don't see tremendous athlete when I see him coming to the ring looking like he needs to be riding on a hoverboard.
I totally agree, and it's one of those things where, you know, and you know, again, no disrespect, but it's like, you know, characters such as maybe Kushida, I haven't really heard him that much on the mic.
Right?
Is he fluent in English?
Well, no. Again, when I said that, and I hope I don't come across as disrespectful, it's the same issue. I'm gathering it's the same issue possibly that Asuka, you know, Asuka has
or Nakamura, you know.
Yeah, now she sings and stuff like that, but you know, she sings her theme song and she's limited. You know, that's what I'm saying. Not that he can't. I don't think he's fluent in English. If I'm wrong, please forgive me. But he doesn't talk that much, and he has silly ring attire. That's 2 out of the 3 elements, right there.
Yeah, you're behind the 8 ball alone if you can't talk, unless they use like that angle somehow strategically. You know, such as you have a quote unquote Mr. Fuji in your corner that is the interpreter. You know, throw some subtitles. You know, you keep him like that kind of stuff. Normally works well for like a heel though. So.
You have Kushida come out tonight, Mountie. You have Kushida come out tonight and rip off the well, he doesn't wrestle in the vest, but like rip off the vest and say, I'm tired of this crap. I'm sick and tired of being looked at. I'm not Marty McFly. I'm a damn professional wrestler.
Thank you.
I love it.
Yeah, there you go. And remember where we heard it first. So I think you're right. I think it's one of those things where we can see you know, where it's actually going to go. You know, maybe he takes that beating tonight. I mean, look, let's you know, we have Austin Theory, you know, obviously he's a factor as well. I mean, Gargano should come out on top on this.
Yes, he should.
And we'll see what happens with Eli Drake. Is he going to have a run in, or is he just going to be in the crowd dressed up? Hey, we'll see what kind of happens. It's unfortunate. These are the fucking moments that you want to have a crowd, man. When stuff like this, it's like, oh.
You see how they're doing that? Our boy Conrad just let us know the scoop about the name, so I guess it's going to be L.A. Knight.
I guess so. So I don't know if it if that's going to stand for something, I mean, I would assume that LA would stand for something. I don't really know what the fuck it could be.
I don't know. I think it was just. I will say this on the surface. I think it was something where you could still do this. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I agree. And maybe people won't like it at first, but it doesn't matter because you'll get used to it. Like you get used to everything, right? Like it's just like people drop like Matt Riddle, okay, and then you drop the first name. We just get used to it. It's just how it goes, right? Shit, man. I mean, we used to call Big E Langston all the time. Now it's just Big E. Everybody calls him Big E, Big E, Big E. That repetitiveness. WWE is very good at trying to make us forget that kind of stuff. So
exactly.
We'll see how that goes. I'm even looking forward to this event even more with that bombshell that we found out on this podcast. So, Sean, man, I mean, do you have anything else to add, or like let's just kind of get right to it? What do you think?
Let's get to it, man. Thank you so much for having me. It's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Like, all jokes aside, and let's just hope that professional wrestling continues the upward trend that it seems to have gone on the last couple of months. Wrestling is no longer must see in WWE right now, but it can get back there again, and I think the competition will inspire them to do so. And let's hope as fans that that's what happens.
Exactly, and this could be one of many sort of head-to-heads that we see on a weekend, especially if going into WrestleMania season, they were going to step up one way or another, right? So now this is that extra added fuel to the fire. I'm really looking forward to a lot of these matches, a lot of these outcomes, and we'll see how we did from a prediction standpoint, swerves, heel turns, whatever. We'll see what kind of goes down, and I know I'm looking forward to it. So let's get to it, guys. You guys out there, thanks for tuning in for this quick 1 hour sort of preview of NXT Takeover. Stay tuned because Sean and I are going to be doing a review of No Surrender probably later on this week. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes. We're going to collaborate our schedules. Are you on Malik's channel tomorrow by any chance, Sean?
I am on Malik, so I will see you tomorrow. Yes, I will be on Malik's channel tomorrow.
All right, guys. So if you guys want to see, just look up Narcolepsy Boy 94. It's pretty simple to find. Just subscribe to his channel. You're going to see me and Sean there pretty much on a weekly basis. So a lot of things are popping right now, man. You got your thing going on with Fight TV. Are we allowed to talk about that a little bit before we sign off?
Shout out to Fight TV and Joel and the staff over there at Fight TV. I'm their new boxing analyst.
Congrats, man.
I appreciate that. Just dropped the a pound for pound top 10 list about maybe a week ago. Over 2,000 views. That's a blessing for me. You know what I'm saying? I thank God for everything. So yeah, check me out, man. HubbardWrestlingWeekly.com, Hubbard Wrestling Weekly on YouTube. The TikTok is right there. I'm just thankful, man. You know what I'm saying? And for people like Mountie, and big shout out to Conrad Cushman. We're praying for you, brother. Keep rocking. Obviously the whole squad, Six Pack, Malik, Kyron, and Rambo as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we're looking forward to collabing with you a little bit more, Sean. Obviously, it's not going to stop. We got some big things happening. Malik's getting noticed. You're getting noticed. I have my deals with a couple of like clothing lines and stuff like that. So I mean, things are moving here. Things are definitely moving, and personally, I won't forget the guys that kind of stuck with me. That worked with me. And and the fans that tuned in every time I do a live stream, or they watch my videos and they comment and stuff like that. Like that stuff means a lot to me as well. So all this is going in the right direction. It looks like 2021 and going forward, like we don't know where this all could lead. So very blessed to have you guys kind of hang out with us tonight.
And I honestly think we're all gonna make it. Honestly, I think that this is gonna be. We're gonna look back on this, 5 years from now, and realize that and it's not all about the money, but obviously some money comes with it. But it's like when we're making big bread, and more importantly, reaching more and more people, and using this platform, as we talked about off the air, to not only talk about wrestling, but in our world, the goodness of God as well. It's gonna be something we look back on and remember very fondly.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, wrestling is a passion. It's a hobby. It's a love of mine since I was a kid, and obviously, as they say, you always want to find that dream job of whatever when you love what you do, it's not a job, right? and fuck, I mean, like that would be spectacular if we can all try to make it somehow, find a way to all work, whether it's radio, whether it's podcasting, whether it's reviews, whether it's on air, whatever it is, we just got to keep grinding. And, this show tonight is just another step towards that goal. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm very happy to have met you through the six pack, and and shout out to Malik, because he kept us on that, man. Even there was 1 month or like none of us could happen, and props to him, because he kept saying, okay, let's do this, and eventually, about a year ago or so, we took that plunge, and it seems like he's blowing up on TikTok hardcore, man. Like, holy fuck. He's getting close to 500,000 followers. Sean has his, and his is blowing up. Mine's starting to blow up. Like, I already got like 300 plus subscribers in a matter of like 3 weeks. Like, so like that may not sound like a lot, but like that's pretty damn good for the time period.
It's not good. It's great. It's great. And I'm a witness to that as well.
Right. Thank you. And so I'm very excited, like where we are going to go, and I can't wait, like you said, to like kind of look back at this journey, and we won't forget it. Somehow we're gonna, it's all gonna come full circle. I'm really, really looking forward to that. So, guys, again, thanks for tuning in, commenting. Nate, Conrad, Aaron, man, you guys were great for chiming in, and it means a lot just to even have guys tune in and out. They don't even have to comment. That's cool. Not everybody has to. It's all good. But yeah, everybody check out Sean's, channel, check out his website, check out his podcast and his shows. I was featured on one of them. It's great shit. It's this is just the beginning, man. So I'm really looking forward to it. But first it starts with NXT Takeover, and then our work going towards WrestleMania season. I'm looking forward to that as well. So thanks again, Sean, for being here, man. And anything else you want to
add? Keep God first, and all things are possible, man.
Amen, brother. All right, bro. So you guys take care. Stay safe out there. And we're going to see you on the next video. Rip 'em, baby.
Yes, sir.
Ow!